Alright, now we're going to read chapter 36 of Monogatari. We've just found out the true name of the oddity possessing Kanbaru. The Rainy Devil. Seems like it has nothing to do with any monkey's paw, and instead has everything to do with this real horrific, demonic, devilish, butcher's gallery of a thing. God damn, I can't even look at this too long. It's actually just too freaky. With the okay, all right. We got to move on. But yet again, oh great, just wows me with his use of this art. Just the integration of so many wildly different aesthetics, so complex. Never actually encountered someone with this before. Araragi is becoming like more and more useless in this arc. I think it's really funny. Normally he's kind of representing like the moral force of what they ought to do. That, you know, Oshino is kind of grilling the afflicted person and they're kind of talking about their circumstances and stuff. And Oshino is being like kind of glib and neutral, and Araragi is always going like, but no, people have a right to whatever. No, I have to stand up for whoever, blah, blah, blah. But here he's like so lost, and he has like no idea who the good guy or the bad guy is, or who he's gonna end up having to fight, if anyone. And he's just like, Johann Faust. They say he was alive during the so-called Renaissance era. There are various theories on this, but everything regarding this man is now folklore. Lived his life as a wandering doctor and alchemist. Really did sell his soul to the devil Mephistopheles. Got every single piece of knowledge and experience in return. That is an enemy of the Christian church and made a pact with the devil. Another amazing shot here. This is like a Kabbalah sort of thing, extending out of his mind. Sacred geometry, mixed in with like a literal physical depiction of the skull and the brain. You see, there's like the wormy gray matter is also extending upwards. Oh my god! And in the background, all this sacred geometry and alchemical texts. And ooh! What an aesthetic! What a powerful aesthetic! And so deftly all woven together. Okay. So what's the deal with Faust? In a period of 24 years, the Faustian impulse was alive and well. At the same time the contract expired, he met a grisly end. Look up Dr. Faustus for the details. Is he just telling you to Wikipedia for more? Is this like a scanlation note? Like, you see those scanlation notes, right? Like, oh, check out this wiki article if you want to see what they're talking about here. And now Oshino himself is just like, nah, you get it. You get the gist of it. If you're really curious, just hit up Google. Always giving these roundabout explanations. So what of it? That rainy whatever thing. It's not like it's Mephistopheles' arm now, right? Only a monkey's paw can be the devil's hand. Oh, I smell some sort of linguistic pun or something to explain this. I don't really remember exactly how this works, this explanation of what it really is. It's exactly it. You're quite sharp today, Araragi. Aragi's like so stuck by it. Oh, this poor guy. Even when he's complimented, he's made to feel the fool. Monkey's Paw has been told over and over again ever since Jacob's story. We don't really know what the truth is, but I've heard some limited information. Monkey's Paw merges with the owner. To your mom. She never said anything about it being a monkey's paw, did she? Tsundere-chan is a crab. This is relatively Japanese-ish, this stable incident. Just happened. You were lucky. It's the crab-monkey fight. This is the same kind of little monkey that was holding the alarm clock in the last chapter. And then this Senjogahara crab headdress thing is like insane to me. Sarukani. I don't know how to pronounce this, but I know it means fight. It's like meat battle. Not meat as in flesh, but meat as in encounter. And there's an onigiri too. I don't know what that means. These weak jokes don't exactly matter now, though. You were lucky that you could blame everything on the monkey's paw. I should say it felt good. According to legend, the monkey's paw can grant the owner's wishes, but according to legend, it does so in a way the owner doesn't want to. So, yeah, when you think about it like that, it's like quite convenient, isn't it? That you get to make these wishes, you get to live out your desires, you get the end product of what you want to happen, but you can absolve yourself of all responsibility around the incidents by saying, well, clearly this isn't what I wanted. Clearly this method of granting my wish isn't what I wanted, because that's how the monkey's paw works. So therefore, it actually reflects positively on me in a way that somewhat offsets the negative image of myself as someone who would go to these lengths in the first place. Because clearly I am a non-violent person. I am someone who cares for my friends and classmates. I am someone who wants to get better based on their own merits. Because the monkey's paw granted me all this harming people and going against my wishes for self-improvement and so on and so forth. I'm an upstanding person because the inverse of me isn't. How very convenient. How very convenient. Simply two ways to resolve the situation. That's what Oshino said. Just to take the arm, just cut off that abnormality arm. Just like, this is... I like the way this is depicted. Like, before I scroll down, I thought it was totally implicit that we see this little diagram of Kanbaru here, and he's just gonna like snip, 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 snip over the line. But now I can see, yeah, we get a more explicit shot of this. Left arm, right arm. And this is Araragi's real role, is the protest in these situations, to say, that's unreasonable, she's got a long life ahead of her, blah, blah, blah. And the arm grow back after that? No. There's no way things could end that conveniently. Losing an arm can fix this whole thing is quite a bargain, no? Is it joke cheap or bad? That doesn't matter. Be a bit of a problem for me. Trying to kill a man here, okay? Isn't that enough of a price to pay? Yeah, Oshino, I think, has a pretty good point. Like, if this was it, if this was just what you had to do, there's not many people out there that could argue the moral imperative that it's better for you to have an arm and kill someone, outright kill someone, than for you to be down an arm and that person to stay alive. That's a pretty tough one to argue from any sort of utilitarian perspective or any sort of moral dignity type perspective or really anything. Think about me, right? That's not what Kanbaru wanted. She just wanted to be next to Sanjay-san. Let me ask you just one thing. Your arm. What happened when it granted your first wish? Back then, the left arm turned into a beast. It should have, but you just didn't realize it, Missy, because your wish came true that very night. That's right. It was the very night after she made the wish that she had the dream that she attacked. Okay, so what does that mean? Why did her arm not turn into a monkey's arm because of that? I think it's a weird tale. Wish to be faster came true. Beat the other kids and got faster, right? Didn't your wish come true? Monkey's paw grants the owner's wishes in a way they don't want it to. Randomly grants people wishes, gives the wish in exchange for unhappiness. In this case, the unhappy ones were the kids who got beat up. Yeah, fair enough. Our Missy here was never unhappy. All her classmates got hurt, that's enough. Again, Araragi taking this sort of position, looking for the best, so sweet, saying that of course Kanbaru, knowing that she was the perpetrator of the incident, was the one who suffered the most. That's a nice idea, and that's sort of what's implicit here in saying, oh, it granted my wish in a way that I didn't want. My classmates got beat up. Clearly this isn't what I wanted to happen. A boo, blue, blue, I'm so sad, so on and so forth. Think about it normally. Her parents were dead at a hard time of her life in a place she didn't know at all. The people who bullied her got hurt. Wouldn't that make her ecstatically happy? If I thought, serves you right, or I felt better after all that, wouldn't be human then, right? When my dishwasher made the noise. What is this thing? Alright, so check this out. This is a really cool shot, by the way. Oshino's standing here in half shadow, the bright light cast over him, and yet the mundanity of the recycling bins casting long shadows too. I really like that. But then, what's over here in the corner, next to this kind of pillar, right in the middle of this panel? Is it like a doll? What is that? What is that? What's going on there? What is it next to? It's some sort of like bin or something with a long handle, like a dustpan or something. I don't know. Ooh, Kenbrew flustered. A rare occasion that she's completely taken off guard by this attack on her morality. A real attack on the core of probably what she had been telling herself for years, that she was upset when her classmates were hurt. She was upset that it was her that hurt them. Is she willing to admit to these inhuman reactions of I feel serves you right, I feel better? This is called subconscious. In the front of your brain, your wish to become faster definitely came true, but the back is different. You wanted to get back about your classmates and you unconsciously wished to beat them. Your left hand saw through that and made your wish come true. It's naked. Always time for some fan service, I guess. Good God. A real horrific scene here. I'll grant you 3 wishes in exchange for your soul. Of course, he's the devil. Oh. Oh, isn't this well done, though? It's so weird. Like, all the things contained in this scene are so weird. And it pulls you into that deep discomfort along many axes. And this scene that we've already seen illustrated in various different ways a couple times. Always with these lanterns, these boxed lanterns lining the hall, and then like all of them filled up with the devil's face. Oh, that's so cool. That's like Shaftian, you know, like that really makes me think of something that Shaft would do in the anime. But I think it actually is even better in the manga, because in the anime there would be a really cool effect where all of the lanterns light up with the devil's face and you realize kind of the true nature of what had been happening. But here it's like a little more subtle, that you just look at this panel, you see it immediately, but it's not like shown to you directly, like it's just there. Do you know what I mean? This is a power of manga that is like very difficult to get into. The difference between being shown something and something being there. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to really break down how this works exactly, but it's similar to the difference between a live action movie and a stage play. A stage play is just there, and a movie you're being shown. At any rate, this is a huge tangent, but I think this shot is just really cool. And the experience of looking at this bottom panel and seeing these faces, I think really kind of taps into something very disturbing about how manga can work. I mean, this effect can, of course, lead to all sorts of different emotional paths, but it's almost like the things that trigger the deepest parts of our brain almost inherently have that unsettling quality. And this is somewhat tied to the plot here too. Like the conscious self is just like a tiny little blip on the surface of a huge dark iceberg. The vast majority of what we're thinking and doing is totally unknown to us. There's a book that I'm planning on reading quite soon called The Elephant in the Brain. And my friend told me, this is what he told me to kind of get interested in it, is that it's largely about how our conscious mind and our internal monologue is largely just trying to justify the decisions and the actions that our unconscious mind is making entirely without any sort of conscious input or even conscious notice. That the conscious mind is just scrambling to kind of keep up with what's happening unconsciously and to morally or holistically or in some way kind of sensibly justify it such that it fits with our self-image. Isn't that some shit? All right. The left hand took possession of you and controlled your flesh and made their wish come true. Afterwards, it left you, consumed an equal part of your soul, which is why the arm grew bigger. Okay. A shot of middle school Kanbaru with a gigantic Hulk-like monkey fist is really disturbing. It's funny, but it's more just disturbing. The way that her forearm slightly balloons out such that it's clear that it's not just like a glove. It's not like there's a clear dividing line, but that it is actually her arm transforming into it. Makes it feel way more real and way more uncomfortable, I think. Get the logic, but now in mean. Quite sharp today, Araragi. You don't need to confuse yourself over this. For once, you actually arrived at the right conclusion from the beginning. It's very evil of Oshino to say that, because I think he's attacking here what Araragi-kun thought and then immediately like dispelled the idea because he thought it was too terrible that he couldn't think of Kanbaru in this way. And then Oshino was like, no, you were right. You were right. The man stole your beloved senpai. You envied him so bad you wanted to kill him. Wouldn't be surprised if you asked the demon to exterminate him. Just want to be next to her? You're really such a nice guy, Araragi-kun, believing in an assailant's explanation. So he wasn't willing to do all of this? This is all she wanted. And this, too, also kind of reveals the mystery of why the kids attacked first didn't die. Because she wished them harm. She wished them to experience pain, as she had. But she didn't really wish them to die. Whereas Araragi, she was out to kill. Like, 100% she'd have enough. Her desires in her left arm. Oh, man. And Araragi quickly running through this emotional gambit of first doubting Oshino, doubting himself, believing in Kanbaru, then realizing Oshino is right, Kanbaru really wants him dead, to now, I think, suddenly realizing that his life is in jeopardy right now, with this awesome shot of Kanbaru's arm kind of scraping against the concrete. Like, if she really acknowledges this, if she says this is all true, then in that same instant she might give into it and attack once more. You want to fix the situation, there is another way, Araragi-kun. The battle. Oh, what an awesome shot. They're back out in the train platform area. And it looks like we're getting a good old fight scene. Now, the fight scene in the anime is one of my all-time favorites. It's extremely gory and horrific, which are things I don't typically like, but it's done so stylistically that the palette of Araragi's blood and the room that they're fighting in and all of that stuff just keeps shifting and morphing to turn it into this amazing, almost psychedelic, intense situation that is so, like, sensory overloady that you don't even, like, process it as blood and gore anymore. You just kind of feel like in a more immediate reaction to it, an even more primal feeling. And it's so kinetic and awesome. Like, it just has the most amazing pace and energy and all of that. So all I'm saying here is that Oh Great has his work cut out for him if he wants to measure up to that. Get killed. But our Missy here now. Oh, Kanbaru. Oh, you're not looking so good. All right, another great chapter. We're heading into the climactic fight of this arc. Araragi versus Kanbaru, round 2. What is gonna happen? I have a perfectly good idea because I've seen this depicted in 2 other mediums before, but how will it be depicted? That remains a mystery, a very, very exciting mystery. Okay, let's look forward to that.